to chaos. I've been alive for 5 seconds and I have a dead parent already. Oh my god, I think my parent's chasing the tenor away. Like, I'm just on my own now. Oh, and now that... No way, there's a pteranodon as well. I just don't move. I would be such an easy target right now. Yes, come back, come back. I need some protection, just a little bit of protection here. Okay, so I have a chance now to finally get some food. That is so ominous. They're just flying over the top, waiting for their chance, I'm sure. Okay, so I thought things couldn't get any worse. There is now 2 raptors as well, and they can definitely get up here. No, I have siblings. Siblings, get back in your eggs. Go and de-hatch. This is not a place to hatch. This is absolutely trial by fire. If you can survive this, you can survive pretty much anything. I mean, the gods have got you in their favor if you survive this. So that's actually very clever. Mum's going to drop the body off of the rock so it at least feeds the raptors if they do try coming looking for food. It turns out, though, Pteranodon might actually be friendly. They're dropping nest pieces, so... So as if the Tenno, the Raptors, the Pteranodon, there's now a pack of Ceratos as well. Well, this makes things rather spicy. Now you see, my mother was trying to lead the chicks away, but I just didn't feel confident that if the Ceratos decided to attack, we'd actually be able to even get away. At least up on this rock, I was somewhat safe. So to be honest, I think the Ceratos actually, because they've got some food, they've shown mercy on us because we're just little babies. I'm just trying to stick so close to the mother right now. However, what came next, there was nothing the mother could even do about it. They're back. The Tenno's back. I guess we're about to find out if the Tenno is a baby killer or just a parent killer. You said they're going after the kids. They're actually going after the babies. Like more so than the parent. Yes, that's right. The Tenno was absolutely a child slaughterer. Like, this was Anakin and the Padawan situation. I can't even get away. There's nowhere I can go that they can't go. And that was just the start of a series of unfortunate ends to the tale. What you lucky people don't see is the countless attempts that never make the cut. But this is evolution's way of molding a successful species. There's no way I can run this. Carnos are too fast. Like if I take my time, a baby dibble is doable, right? Like I just need to find their tracks and see where they're going. Nothing I can do here. Okay, so this highlands is crawling with other carnivores. Oh my god, there's a Troodon. Yeah, these guys are so dangerous for young dinosaurs, like myself. We've had some terrible experiences at this very sanctuary that we're going to, but I don't know. There's a tickle in the wind. I can feel it. This is the one, the life. But we are going to have to pick our mutations carefully. And if we're ever going to make it out of here alive, we're going to have to tiptoe around in the darkness. Although it's quite a bright night, but still. And it was to nobody's surprise that this area was crawling with other meat-eating dinosaurs. It was of paramount importance that if I did find food, I take just a chunk and leave and eat it away from the bodies. And this time I didn't spend a single second longer inside that sanctuary than I needed to. I ticked off my prime requirement and I got out of there as quick as I could. Also, if you aren't subscribed, then if you don't mind doing so, it would mean so much. We're almost at 19,000 subscribers, which is insane. I love you all. Thank you. So we are starting to see now one of the main struggles of being an Allosaurus, and that is keeping on top of your hunger. Right, I don't even know. Oh. Okay, well, that's it looks killable. Maybe food's come to us. The Dilo clearly had a plan. He was trying to run in, take a bite and get out. And where I gained in bite force, I lost in agility. Like, we just have to be careful because I've just seen a Rex as well, so there is a Rex around. Yeah, see, to those bites, I timed it really well. If I can time my slide and get a bite on him, I think I'm winning this one. I don't know why I'm not just pinning him, to be honest, as well. It's more fun this way. It's more fun. Also, I'll be doing a lot more bleed to him than he will be doing to me as well, so he has to be careful with that. Yeah, so I didn't even have to bite him then. He just bled out. He went in for one final charge and collapsed. Okay, well, that's really handy because I really needed that. That was some much needed food and sustenance. At least we get to continue our growth for now. That crashing sound of two dibbles or trikes sparring. As I was hanging around the South Plains area, I did notice a deer hanging around between the bushes. It's a slightly dangerous place because this is where Rexes quite like to ambush. And as I would soon find out, I was actually a lot closer than I realized. So you see, the South Plains may be very good for patrol zones and migration zones. It's even very good for AI. But with AI and that many zones, it's the perfect place for some apex hunters. To be honest, I think they were going for the trikes. They heard the trikes as well, so as long as I stay away, we should be okay. I need to know where they are. As long as I know where they are, that's when I feel a bit safer. It's when you don't know where they are that it gets a bit scary. My hunting continued into the night, occasionally picking off stray wildlife that wandered too far and made too much noise. They're all out tonight. Now, what is that? That looks like a young Rex, you know. Oh, he was hiding in here. I'm never going to catch him. That Rex is at the speedy stage of his growth. He's going to be a nightmare to catch. You see, all of this wildlife was making this a very big hotspot for all the predators in the area. We got some Allosaurus friends. Let's say hello. Maybe we can group up. Oh my god, no, there's a Rex. The Rexes are here. No, he's dead. Oh, and they got the other one as well. Well, as quick as I made 2 new friends, I've already lost them to 2 Rexes. Now look, I will say I'm sad they're dead, but that was actually a really cool scene, the way that the Rex just emerged out of the bushes. They had no idea they were there. Okay, so despite all odds, we have survived another day in the South Plains. Yeah, these guys are far too fast for me. So I had grown enough now that I felt like I wanted to explore a new area. South Plains was great, but it was time to take on more of a challenge. It was time to visit the Highlands. Little croc down there just doing his own thing. It's the only person I've seen so far. So once again, now we're at a stage where the food's draining faster than ever, and there's just nobody here. However, it wasn't long before I heard a very distinctive sound. There is at least one or two Ceratos here, young Ceratos. And I'm guessing by the amount of bodies, the parents have probably killed those and brought them here. So whilst the parents were out of town, I took my opportunity to try and pounce and take out the young. Where are these guys? Right, we'll go for this one. That's one. One Cerato. There's three altogether, so there's three. I do feel a bit like I'm taking out my childhood trauma of getting killed by that Tenno and the whole nest getting killed. I'm taking it out on these guys. Also, we are very hungry, so, you know, we've got every reason to do that. Now, I know you're in here somewhere. There you are. I'm not really sure how that didn't pin. Every time he nearly sneaks away, I just catch a glimpse, just enough to stay on his tail. And eventually it was too much. He was caught. Now look, I'm all for heroics, but that Cerato should not have gotten involved. Because now, all it's done is put that Cerato on my hit list as well. I wouldn't have known he was even there otherwise. Now he has to be around here somewhere. I just don't know where. Now it was beginning to look like I'd lost the Cerato. And this patch he did serve as a good distraction. Right, well I guess we just sit here for a bit and wait. Oh my god, I don't know why, for a second I thought I heard a massive footstep, like a Rex. Oh, this guy's going head on. He was always the brave one of that litter. Right, well, I'm glad I got this done before the parents arrived, and if they do come back... Whoopsie. You have no kids left, I'm afraid. Nearly. I spotted him. I like how he just dipped into that plant. So it was time to try and start a new chapter. Maybe build a family of our own. But before we do that, we need to build a nest. And in order to do that, we need to go around and gather up some sticks and put them into one homely pile. Okay, so I have just noticed we're doing this with not a lot of food and water. I just so badly wanted to nest, but I didn't really consider that. So with one of us being fine for water, the other two set off for a nearby pond. Right, so there's not really any safe way to do this. I just have to hope that there is no crocodiles. In a pond this size, after about 5 to 10 seconds of drinking, you soon realise you're okay. And so with water taken care of, it was time to start thinking about food, and we were cutting it pretty close. Right, we really need something to be at Highlands now. This is mission critical. I think me walking past the raptors lured them into a false sense of security, because they sat back down. And unbeknownst to them, they were far from safe. Oh, nice. So I actually missed them. I didn't even know they were there. But it turns out it worked as the perfect trap. They thought I was on my own. I walked past, and these two surprised them. Right, if you don't mind, I'm gonna need a nibble. Oh man, come on please, I need a bite. That's really bad to me. I just need something, because I'm actually dying. Okay, so that is far from ideal. We have about 1% of food. So it was time to move on and try and find something else. And the situation was desperate. God, it's barren out here. There's really nothing. It's a wasteland. So there was a galley that started winding up or teasing one of our team, and so we decided to try and sneak up and catch him by surprise. After all, he thought there was only one Allosaurus. But ultimately I would make one fatal mistake. I didn't pounce. I did a bite instead of pounce. I should have pounced him. And once the element of surprise was gone, there was really nothing we could do about it. Well, this could be a bit of an anticlimactic end here. I don't think there's really anything going. I think those two might be fighting an Allosaurus, I'm not sure. So I just followed my nose to the nearest scent of the nearest piece of food and just hoped it was enough to keep me alive. So again, that is just enough now, just to keep me going a bit longer. Just means I can get a little bit of healing going, and it just stops me from actively dying of hunger. Right, we'll go back and see what these guys were up to. See if they were actually... Oh. Hello. That Patchy would have had absolutely no idea what hit him. He probably got a bit of a scare from that. That was a good ambush, actually. I quite like it. I got very lucky. They just happened to be coming my way. So it turned out they were fighting an Allosaurus. Now, because they'd eaten Allosaurus, they had muscle spasms. Because I didn't end up eating any, I was okay. But it still did compromise our stealth. Well, if anyone didn't know we were here, they do now. But it wouldn't matter, because our biggest test was about to begin. Oh, 2 trikes. We've got another one. Okay. Don't stand there. He's just going to keep hitting you. And then not too far into the fight, we lost one of our own. He was still hurting from the Allosaurus fight, and those horns on the Triceratops, even at this size, are terrifying. Now, under any normal circumstances, we could play this slowly, let them bleed, and make their night very miserable. But there were new guests to the party. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Again, not fully grown, but all of this together combined is a lot of damage. And then we lost one more. I was now on my own in a 1 versus 2 against these Ceratos. I was truly beginning to think that I wouldn't see the sunrise. But I wasn't about to go through countless lives only to die without a fight. I would stand my ground. Okay, that's one. Just gotta deal with one more. Oh my god, we did it. That is so close. There is so much red around my screen. I'm probably a couple of bites away. That really could have gone either way. Once again though, in like the heat of the moment, I've just completely forgot to do pounce. I've just gone for a pure bite fight. But hey, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it shows you don't need pounce. Pin slot. For a game that relies so heavily on being able to eat, it's very difficult to eat anything in this game at the moment. Also, I still feel so tense. I'm still really, really hurt. If someone else comes along, there could be a Rex anywhere. Like if someone else smells all this food, I'm in big trouble. We do have gastro, so we can get some health back by eating. At the very least, regain some of that health we lost in the fight. Now, the only issue with eating at this time of night is you can't see what you're eating. And I just lost all of that food I'd taken in. I cannot believe after all of that I ate rotten food, or maybe bones. I have no idea what I ate that did that, but we're okay. There's a salt rock nearby, so these are very tiny footprints. It's really cute. Look how tiny those. Somebody's been here. Somebody else with a very sick little belly. Right, so we're going to try again, and this time we're going to try and be a bit more careful about what we eat. So what's this? I have no idea. But it doesn't look like Allosaurus, I don't think. I think we're okay. I feel like we would have been sick by now. So now we have a new issue. We really need water, and I'm a little bit nervous about drinking at the Highlands Lake just because I know there has been crocodiles in there. So we're going to try and make our way down to water access. Things had really escalated. We'd gone from building a nest to starving to getting into a fight to losing both our Allosaurus friends. We are now on our own with old, battered, bruised bones. But we had finally lived an Allosaurus life. And I was now opting to choose for the slow lane. We were going to take it easy up until retirement. And by retirement, I mean the time where we will leave this island and move on to our next life. Right, so we've got our eyes on a couple of new targets. But it does heavily rely on them coming over to this side of the river. Okay, we've got to time this right and remember to use pounce. Perfect. Great ambush, and you're not going anywhere either. We have finally refined our craft in the art of small game hunting. Shall now enjoy the little parts, the little bits of this dance. All around me, new life was beginning. Lots of pteranodons were taking to the sky, small crocs were looking for their first scavenge. But for us, it was time to look for a new place, somewhere to finally rest. Look at this guy, doing his spear fishing. It's really cool though, I do like the spear fishing. Don't worry man, you probably got a bit of a fright there when I walked past. I'm not going to hurt you, I'm not hungry. You wouldn't give me much anyway. Enjoy your life, young flappy bird. Allosaurus is actually quite a quick swimmer when it's fully grown. It's not too bad. See, this to me looks a little bit suspicious, and by a little bit I mean very suspicious. There's food right next to the water. Help yourself. It's free, I promise. So joke's on me, when I watched the replay back there was no crocodile there, so I don't know where that food came from or why it was there, but I could have actually eaten it. But I didn't actually need it, so it wasn't worth the risk. It was very suspicious. Oh yes, now this looks like a beautiful place to end our life. Right by the river, just where I like it, watching the local wildlife. I think they're trying to dip and fly under the bridge. And I think they did. You have a very nice pink belly. That's a nice skin actually for a pteranodon. But it was time to say goodbye. And hello to our new life. And for those wondering what on earth just happened, basically when you get to the end of your life, you get an option to start a new life with the same dinosaurs and all of your previous mutations. Do this a few times and you've got yourself a super dinosaur. However, starting from the beginning again means you're putting yourself back into that vulnerable stage. So we're now actually a little bit too big for the sanctuary, so we can't hide in amongst the trees. And there's a lot of things around here. There's so many little ceratos, which would easily kill me if they saw me. Oh, I don't know if he's seen me. I'm gonna just play. Oh, I'm gonna play safe. I'm gonna assume he hasn't. Has he? So that was one of those situations where it would have been so easy for me to panic and run thinking he'd seen me. Oh, and again. Just to top it off, there's some big ceratos by the bridge. See, I'm just running out of cover. I've got nowhere to go. Okay, we have to just run and hope for the best. I think we're okay. I don't think we're being followed, so you'd soon know if we were. I smell a lot of food down here. Again, it's one of those areas where I'm a little bit hesitant about going straight in because it's near water, so could be a crocodile, there could be a Allosaurus up on the rock. Who knows? But to my surprise, there was nobody else here. Right, we're going to move on towards the swamps. We'll go through the swamps towards South Plains, I think. Get a little drink and then we'll move on. So there's a little crocodile. He's doing the saltwater mutation challenge. So he's drinking from the sea and then he'll go back, refill his water by drinking from the river. And he'll carry on doing that until he unlocks the mutation. So thankfully he doesn't seem too interested in me. But this is also a bit scary because underneath me in one of these walls is an opening where crocs can swim out from. So I have to be a bit careful. Yeah, that was actually surprisingly tense. I didn't like that. A lot of crocs go there to get the saltwater mutation. So you'll notice, as much as I've smelt this food, I knew something was a little bit suspicious. And lo and behold, I wasn't the first one here. There were eyes in the trees as well. Okay, so I just need to kind of wait to see if they get down, if they move. But I'm not going in for that body until I know they've gone. Oh, what's that? Oh my god, there's a raptor. I don't even think he knows that the herons are there. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. He's faster than me. He's more agile than me. And he can just pounce me. Yeah. Well, we tried, guys. We tried. And so the circle of evolution ticks once more, trying to find that perfect adaptation.